I really leaned into YouTube, and it helped me so much. I can't tell you how much it worked. Before I actually had time to invest in therapy, to invest time in therapy, YouTube was my therapy. And I found a lot of wonderful, wonderful creators, both professionals like psychologists and psychiatrists who've got great websites and great YouTube pages, but also communication people who really I really resonated with and I connected with, and it eased my soul. Like nothing was going to stop the issue, but I felt like I had somewhere to go. So being on that end of YouTube made me realize how impactful it is on people's lives. It can, I don't want to be over dramatic, but there are people who claim that, some creators have saved their life. They've really helped them. And part of me wanted to give back. I mean, I'm an imperfect person. It wasn't all about, oh, I just want to give back. But it was like, I feel like I've got something that I can give. And now I want to put it out there because the impact it has is so huge on other people. And that is why I finally did bite the bullet and create a YouTube channel, which is Life with GenX Values.
And how long ago did you create the channel, Jenny?
The first video went on, I think, in June 2025.
Okay.
And I got really serious about it probably like January 2025. And I really started thinking about what would my channel be. And, going from there, trying to build it by myself. And with what I'd heard from the mentor that I'm going to mention later, the things that kind of pulled together, I got my ideas and started to think about, why I wanted that channel, what I was going to talk about on that channel. And then in June, I made my first video. Because you've built this amazing app, Desley, the Creators Sidekick app, I personally, and this is why I haven't taken the course too, because you've already invested a lot of time in learning the basics of YouTube. And in fact, speaking as someone who's been watching mentors, many of them, like Road the Maritime, obviously, but also Kevin Colby, Alexa Saranoia, DD Parody. I've watched a lot of them. I've learned a lot. And I don't think it's worth taking those courses when you've invested that much time. And you, obviously, from going through the Sidekick app, you've developed skills, you have a lot of knowledge. So going through those courses, I think, is for people who haven't invested that time and they want to get to the end point quicker. They don't want to invest hours and hours searching for information that may or may not be correct.
Did you take his 30-day challenge?
If you're stuck, Desley, if you ever find yourself like, I feel like I've done everything I know how to do, I don't know which way to turn next, I think it would be a good idea. And Rob the Maritime actually offers a 1 session or a 2 session package where you get an hour with him. So I think it's around $200 for an hour, and I think it's $365 Canadian dollars, I think, or US for 2 hours. So if you were stuck but you've got a lot of the knowledge and you know where you want your channel to go, I think that would be a good option. But I personally wouldn't take a paid course, unless I was really lacking direction or wanted to completely pivot.
Yeah. And Alexa has a great course as well, doesn't
Yes.
she?
Yeah.
What's it called?
The Creator Boost.
Rebels?
The Creator Boost Challenge, I think she calls it.
Oh, the 30-day
It's a 30-day course.
That's a 30-day challenge, but doesn't she also have a paid group?
Oh, Alexa has a number of paid courses that you can access. If you join Alexa's, I think it's the Creator Boost Tribe on School, which is a free community, you can click on the classroom and you can see all of the different courses that Alexa offers and how much they are currently. And she has a paid school community called YouTube Rebels. And it's more aimed at people who are trying to build a business or, see YouTube as a professional avenue to go down.
Yeah. But she's very generous. I contacted her and said hello and everything. And she said to me, talk about your journey of developing the app. Now, I haven't done that very well on the channel, I might add, because a lot of it was behind the scenes. You know, I was
Yes.
using Claude AI, and it wasn't much to show for it, you know what I mean, and that sort of thing. So, but and thank you for being the first interviewee.
You're
Because
very
I want to
welcome.
branch out into interviews of different YouTube
Yes.
creators.
Yeah.
That I think will hopefully help your channel as well as my channel, but more importantly, help people in YouTube land who actually listen into the lives and everything. And that's, if you had to start a YouTube channel from scratch, what's one or two things you would do differently, do you think?
I'm going to say that I would spend a little less time watching videos and start making the videos sooner. I think a lot of people believe that. But knowing myself, I did need a lot of time to kind of build that foundation and to build a vision that I could have my own channel. When we have our own channel, it has to be something that resonates with us. It has to be something we're not going to get bored of. So I think the more thought you put in before you start making videos, the better, like looking into yourself and visualizing your own journey. But for me, I was watching Rob for around a year before I even started making steps towards my own channel. So I would have done that a little bit sooner, but I don't regret my journey at all. And the other thing I'm going to recommend is creating more than you consume. So when I released my earlier videos, an established creator actually emailed me, which is really nice, and said that's one of his biggest things: 75% creating and 25% consuming. So if I was going to start again, that's a piece of advice that I would follow.
And it's really hard sometimes because I find that you want to watch this live and you want to watch that live and you want to watch this video and you want to watch that video, and all of a sudden hours have gone.
Yes.
And, and I didn't think that I would settle into lives, and I've settled in relatively quickly, I think. You can tell me, you're the expert on lives, I'm not.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing, because I'm a bit of a slow thinker or slow talker, in a sense. And I have to think about things, and I take ums and ahs and pauses and all this in when I'm doing. But to do this feels much more comfortable than I expected it would be.
Yeah. I think the same thing, and I think a lot of that is because live streams are imperfect by nature, and that's what people are almost expecting when they join live. There's no hook, there's no intro, there's no micro hooks or call to action. It's just very informal, and I think that's why people are attracted to lives. And there's the interaction as well. So if you do have people there, it's a wonderful experience to know that somebody's watching, and even if they don't comment, knowing that they're there feels much you can kind of access the real you better than like talking to a camera with no interaction at all.
You're right. Like, I was so surprised with the live last night that three of you were on the YouTube channel, commenting and talking and everything, and I was so excited.
Yeah, it is. It's so exciting when you see a friendly face. It is so nice, especially when you've built a connection up and you've got that kind of, you understand that person. You feel a lot more at ease, and then you're good. It's so exciting. You know what I like about Rob is that he will admit to himself there are nuances to everything that he says, and he will openly admit that. So Rob is a very strong, and this is a piece of advice I was going to give at the end too. He's a very strong advocate to not tell your family and friends that you're doing this and ask them to watch, because they are not your natural audience. But when it comes to what you are doing, Desley, specifically, we are your target audience and we would watch you anyway. And I already subscribed to your channel, and I don't subscribe to channels right away because I don't want to subscribe to things I'm not going to watch. So I'm very careful about when I am going to subscribe to something, if it kind of fits with things that I'm going to be watching. So there was a couple of comments on that live from people discouraging people from watching their YouTube friends playlist to give them hours. And that is true also to an extent. I have offered to watch my creative friends' channels because I am subscribed to them and I enjoy their content. But would I typically watch 20, 30, 40 hours over a month? No, I wouldn't. But given there's a time frame for them to get their watch hours, and I would be watching that content anyway, I'm watching it faster. So I'm just expediting a process. I'm not watching something I wouldn't usually watch. But you can see how that could be construed as, not helping the creator because you're not interacting. There's nuances to everything, Desley. So, yeah. And the good thing about Rob is he would be happy for you to kind of take what he's saying, apply your own situation, and come up with your own conclusion.
How do you fit creating videos for your channel around your lifestyle of choice? Because you've got a family as well, haven't you?
I do. I have a husband and 2 kids who are at home, and they're obviously a huge priority for me, and I have to keep remembering that is something that it's important to me that I invest time in that. And as we talked about earlier, I've really struggled with that over the last couple of years. I've been through a really hard season. So I really haven't been doing a very good job until recently. And it's very recently, so I hesitate to say I've got it down. But I've definitely made progress in that area. I'm going to put one more thing in, Desley, for you, because I think this is really important and it's just popped up in my head. And that is YouTube, the importance of YouTube to me. My family is fully aware of that and actually very supportive of that. So my husband will, chip in if I want to do a live stream or if I've got something organized. He is supportive of it. And I think that is really huge. Because if your 2 priorities are competing and that, if it's work and YouTube and they don't fit together, I don't think either will be successful. You have to kind of move your life around that. So right now, my whole family knows I'm doing this. Nobody will bother me. If there's an issue, they'll figure it out. And I think that's really important, to be able to do YouTube around your lifestyle.
My last question, unless you've got questions for me or you've got other things to say, is do you have any other ideas, suggestions, tips or strategies you feel it's important for newbie creators to know about it?
It's a tough one because everyone's journey is extremely individual. And I said the person I watched was Rob the Maritimer because he resonated. And I think that is very, very important for you to have a good experience with YouTube. You need to find someone you connect with so that you can kind of move forward that way, get a clearer vision. If I was going to, I did write down a couple of tips, and I've mentioned one already, which is create more than you consume. That is really huge. And I still don't have that one down, but that is a good piece of advice. And don't ask family and friends to subscribe or watch your videos. That is a huge piece of advice. There's a lot of videos from vidIQ and Think Media that explain that principle very well. Because when you have a new channel and you're getting your early views and your early subscribers, YouTube looks at the activity of those people on YouTube. So if you have a friend or a family member with no interest in the things that you're talking about, YouTube will look for other people like those people. And it will show you content to those people. And it's very difficult for us to train YouTube to find the right people. That sometimes never happens for people if you're not clear on your niche, which is okay. But if you are kind of making videos about lots of different things, YouTube has a really hard time finding people who are going to be interested. And you have to make more and more videos to kind of help the algorithm find your people. So that's a huge piece of advice that I think would help a newer creator. It's not that it's too late, but it's very difficult for YouTube to find your audience. So I would go to like Think Media and vidIQ to kind of get those videos to explain, because it is a complicated process to think about how it finds your audience. Yeah, those would be my tips, and I think we've talked a lot about different things that would help newer creators. And the last thing would be to use your Creators Sidekick app. I don't like saying it because it just sounds like you've dragged me and just say, do this. But when you demonstrated your app, it blew me away how closely it followed all of the YouTube advice I'd found through the last 2 years across multiple platforms. It really pulled it in one place. And what it does is it's very concise. So you make a movement towards making a good video, because you can fill in the different fields and then use that to make your video, instead of kind of just knowing what you know and trying to write a script somehow. And using AI is the worst thing to do when you're a new creator, to kind of put your ideas into AI and say, make me a transcript. Because that won't be your natural language and your natural behaviors, and that will come across in the video. So your app is wonderful for actually getting people from knowing little bits about YouTube and the way it works to actually putting a video out.
Thank you. I'm really stoked with that feedback. It's really kind of you, Jen. And the whole idea was to put it all in one place, because I found it overwhelming.
It is.
Having files and folders and this and this and everything like that. And there was so much really good there is so much really good information out there.
It is good. Yeah.
And I have used AI to help develop Claude co-work, actually, which is a little bit different, to Claude Chat and Claude Code. But I had to put in a whole heap of rules. No, you don't say that. No, you don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't take out what I put leave my intro alone, leave my outro alone. But it's only a guide, because then you still have to go through, regardless of what AI you're using, you still have to go, even if they can get fairly close to your voice, you still have to go through and make it your own. You can't just simply rely on whatever AI gives you. Does that make sense?
It does, and you've been through that experience, which is why you can use Claude, because you know what you don't want from it, and you know how bad it can be when it gives you what looks like an amazing script, and then you start reading it and you're like, this is not me. So you've actually spent time in programming Claude to speak like you, and even then you're almost rewording it at the end to kind of make it truly you. And I think a lot of people just get tempted because you put your idea into Claude or Gemini or Chat, and it comes out with this, when you read it in your head, what sounds like an amazing script, it's just what you wanted to say. But when you actually sit in front of the camera and read it out, you realize that that's not how humans interact.
Yes, and that's a hard bit. Or it's not how it partly resonates with you, but not really totally resonating with you. So it can make it a bit stiff, or but then sitting in front of a camera can be stiff in itself.
Yes, absolutely. So put the two things together, and we're in a very similar era of our channels, because we're still, kind of know what we want, but we're still building the systems in there to kind of have a consistent channel where you know what you're making and there's no friction to making a video because you're like, okay, you know, I know exactly what I want to talk about. And I'm getting there. I'm getting pretty close now. And honestly, this is true. Like the Sidekick app has helped me. My brain does work differently, so I found what helped me was using the app and then printing out the, like, exporting the information I'd got, so I'd got it in my hands and I could kind of read over it. But it really has helped my brain, which gets confused. It's like breaking it into individual sections, so it really has helped a lot.
Oh, that's
But
fantastic.
there are so many nuances to YouTube, so many, and that's why it's hard to give concrete advice because there's no magic formula. There's lots of great advice, but and also this speaks to also the point you were bringing up about not doing too many live streams, not making too many videos, because we do want others to watch these things, and when we have our live streams 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, it's almost holding people hostage. You know, people who are loyal to you and loyal to your content, it's using their time, and their time is just as important as our time, and we should be respectful of that. So if you can cover something in a certain period of time, cover it as quickly as you can. Respect the time of your audience.
Absolutely. And you're right. If I see a stream that's 2 hours, I won't even watch it.
That's yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's just too much time. Sometimes even an hour, and I know we've gone for nearly an hour, sometimes even an hour is too much for me.
It's a long time, and you know, people can consume it differently. For me, live streams, I typically would, if they're not somebody I'm really connected to, I'll watch them later and I'll speed it up. I'll watch it 2 times, and I'll already have a task in mind. So for the next whatever, I'm going to be folding laundry, and this is a perfect time to have a live stream on.
That's good. Thank you, Jenny. I want to say thank you very much for your time and for your honesty. You've been very, very honest and down to earth, which is very nice. And you've made me feel comfortable, to be quite honest. Does that make sense? In doing this and doing the first interview. Thank you to people who hopefully will be watching this live stream, maybe at a later date. And also pop along to Jenny's channel, which is Lives with GenX Values.
Yes.
And
right off the top of your head.
Yeah, right. Let's try again.
No editing. No editing.
No editing. Okay, I want to thank you very much for your time, and to everybody in YouTube land, have a great day, be kind to one another, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you, Jenny.